Hey,
Let's do it.
this is Brian Trippe. Brian, and guess what I'm wearing today?
Bam! To take the words out of Tom Kroll's mouth.
It's not for the reasons that Brian thinks, although he gave me this. Brian, of course, is from Alabama. He's a huge Clemson fan, but he's no, he's a closet Clemson fan. Brian graciously gave me the sweatshirt. Was it a year ago, Brian?
Yeah. But yeah, going on a year and a half ago when you came to Birmingham in November of 2017, we gave you some gifts.
Yes. So I like the sweatshirt, but get this, Brian. Oh, by the way, everybody, hey, this is the Real Estate Investing Mastery podcast. And I got a special guest, Brian Trippe, on the show today. And welcome, Brian. I wanted to tell everybody this story first, though. The real reason why I'm wearing this sweatshirt today is I just got off the phone this morning, a couple hours ago, with one of my students named Marty. And do you know Marty by any chance?
I know a Marty, yes.
Okay. She just is in the middle of this deal. She's going to be making about $900 a month in cash flow on this deal. It's a creative lease option deal. And I was super pumped and excited. And man, I know you're the same way, Brian. When you see a student or somebody in your REIAs, one of your REIA groups doing a deal, man, it's like one of the greatest highs in business. Like doing your own deal is cool, but seeing one of your students, seeing one of your clients do a deal is like off the charts, amazing, awesome. I was like jumping around. I was so excited because she had pursued this seller for over a year.
Yep.
This was a little small town, about 10,000 people outside of Birmingham, little small town. And she got this deal. She's worked out this creative deal because the numbers are kind of tight, but she got the seller to agree to pay the mortgage, and she's not paying any rent on this lease option for the first 2 years. And then after that, it kind of changes a little bit, but super cool deal. I was so excited for her that was like so persistent, kept on following up. And she's from the great state of Alabama.
That's right. So you have to represent.
I have to represent.
You got your Alabama hoodie on. Roll Tide.
So, but welcome to the show, Brian. I'm glad you're here. I thought you'd like that story because maybe you know Marty. I don't know if you do or not, but she's such a cool lady. And I love Alabama. We're doing deals right now in Birmingham. Me and Gavin with one of our students, Melissa. I don't like calling her a student because she's like this professional rock star investor now, but we met her. We met her in San Diego. She went to one of our workshops, but I met her another time at one of your real estate clubs in Alabama, in Birmingham. You have a great group there, and you're now starting some other real estate clubs around the country. And I wanted to get you on the podcast to talk with you about that. Yeah. So can you first give us, tell everybody here a little bit about you, Brian, and I'm going to be really fancy here, and I'm going to show your name over the bottom there. So watch this. You ready?
I'm ready.
Boom. Do you see that?
I see.
And I even spelled it right.
You spelled it right, and you're saying it right.
Yes. Brian Trippe. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Brian.
Yeah. Well, first, before I do, thank you, Joe, so much. Before I do, I want to thank you publicly again. And I've told this story many times, and I've told it to you. The Real Estate Investing Mastery podcast was the very first podcast I ever found when I first started my real estate journey in 2012. And I think that, just like the radio announcement, I wasn't alive, in the 50s and 60s when people are, listening to games and stuff on the radio, but just like your radio announcer, you get to know their voice, even a TV personality, you feel like you know them very, very well. I feel like I really got to know you for many years before I ever met you, because I'm following along with you every single week, you and Alex. And I just want to thank you for what you do for the real estate investing world, putting out so much valuable content for free. It blew me away that all this valuable stuff was free. So I just want to thank you, Joe, for what you do and for having me on the show.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. That's inspiring because, anytime it doesn't get old, hearing people tell you that they love the show, they like listening to it. I appreciate that very much. I really do.
Yeah, and it just kind of it really helped kind of propel my trajectory of, you know, just being involved in real estate. Just like the students that you mentioned, people I'm very familiar with in my town, Marty, who's a great friend, Melissa and Carrie, who have been great friends of mine for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
So just to see the success that they're having is awesome. But to tell you just a little bit about me, I got my start in 2012. I went through a big box real estate company. I used Rich Dad Education to get my start in real estate. I don't really talk good or bad about them. I think that they did a lot of good things. There are a lot of things that were lacking, especially the local component, having the local component, which I think is important to understand the local streets, the local community. Birmingham is very different than the rest of the country. So that's how I got my started. I made $10,000 after 45 days in the business on just a wholesale deal, made every mistake in the book and was just persistent with it and just stuck it through and got that check. And I don't know if people who are listening to this were a little bit like me, but when I first got that check, it actually transformed my thinking. I think the more I do this, the more I coach and teach, the more I realize that psychology plays such a huge deal in our successes. And obviously, I'm not the first person to ever think that way. People have written books for many, many decades about the psychology of success. But it really does start with yourself and your own thinking. I had a limited belief. I didn't know that I could ever do that. I kind of came from a tough upbringing and never thought that I could actually be successful. To make $10,000 in one chunk of money, I've never done that before in my life. Never thought it could be done. So it just made the real estate thing real to me. So that's how I got my started. Built a big wholesale business here with Joe's help, actually, in about 2015, 16.
Was it that? It was like that, not that long ago. What's that short ago?
Yeah. So I went full time with wholesaling in early 2014 and struggled. Wow. Kind of roller coaster ride. And I hired you and Peter to help me out in probably late 2014, early 2015.
Yes,
and
I remember.
Consistency was my biggest issue. And you guys really just kind of helped, kind of whip me into shape from a consistency standpoint. And then, I never wanted to be a wholesaler, to be honest. I actually resisted wholesaling for a long time. I thought it had a negative connotation, not just in the community, but with me personally. I wanted to be a real estate investor. And I kept hearing you say over and over on your podcast that if you're a wholesaler, you're not an investor, you're a marketer. And I'm like, well, I want to be an investor. So I always resisted that. And I wanted to be an investor. So in late 2016, we scaled our wholesaling business way, way, way back. Our overhead was out of control. And I'd made enough money where I just wanted to start buying rentals. I bought a multifamily. I bought where my office, where I'm sitting today, I bought a 6-unit office complex and just started being an actual real estate investor. And then, one thing led to another. And I was in a room with you and Sean McCloskey where you guys urged me to start REIA, which I did in January 2017.
So glad you did, man. I had no idea you were going to take us seriously and take it as far as you have. I'm so happy for you and proud of you. That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think the more I do this, I keep coming back to that. The longer I do real estate, I understand that, and this is a phrase, I don't know really where it came from, but I got it from a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I got this phrase from there where you can, if you want to go far, or if you want to go fast, I should say, if you want to go really, really fast, then go alone. And that was me. I was going alone. I was just going fast and fast and fast, fast. But if you want to go far, you got to go with others. And it really does take a team to get to the level of success that you would want to get to. You can't do it by yourself. You're going to get burned out. You're going to start to resent it. You're going to start to hate it. And that's where I was in late 2015, kind of the middle of 2016. I just kind of resented everything I had built because I was doing it alone for the most part. And, the more I do this, I connect with people like you, connecting with people like Sean McCloskey, and just recently had a great call with Jason Medley and just things like that. Just people that have been in this business for a long time. They get it, that it's beyond the deal to deal. I think we get caught up in the deal to deal, the day to day, and it's not the day to day. It's the long term. Like, what are you trying to do? What's going to make you happy? What do you actually want to be and do? What do you want to stand for? And that's where I first started to really get it. And that's where I am today. You know, you mentioned that I'm doing a bunch of REIAs. We're launching different. We have REI Live. You can see it in my background, Real Estate Investing Live. We're starting live events all throughout cities in the country. We just launched Atlanta last week. A huge turnout. So we're very fired up about Atlanta. But we still got our Birmingham group that's been awesome. We have groups in South Carolina and Florida. So we're constantly growing this brand. So that's where I am today. And I'm appreciative again for being able to come on the show and share this.
Appreciate the kind words. It's humbling. I want to talk to you about first. Let's start with the Alabama REIA. REIA. Is that what you call it?
We renamed it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we completely rebranded everything. Okay. And so here we can get into a whole thing. And I got to kind of walk on eggshells a little bit because you know some great people who are associated with National REIA and groups that are a part of National REIA. And I do too. And I do too, though. And that's the thing. Like, I know and I respect people that are associated with these organizations. And when I say what I'm about to say, I'm definitely not talking about all REIAs when I say this, but most, and it's actually the vast majority of REIAs. It's just the old way of doing things. I don't like it. We changed our name to answer the question because I don't like the acronym REIA, REIA, Real Estate Investors Association. I don't like that. It has a specific connotation associated with it. Some would say it's negative, some would say it's positive, but it does have a connotation associated with it. And I wanted to get rid of that because it's very polarizing. It's very polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. And really the people who love it are actually, I found that are the people that have been in it for a very long time. And what I've tried to do is kind of disrupt that industry by giving value first, leading with value. We don't bring in, as you know, to your dismay, we don't bring in selling speakers. You know, you came to Birmingham and I said, Joe, you can come here and I want you to come here. I love you, but you can't sell from stage. And we've been able to find other ways, other creative ways to help people like you and other speakers, great speakers, come in and deliver incredible content and do things like lead capture and other creative things to be able to actually sell their products and services, which you have great products and services. We want you to be successful, but we just don't want that being sold from stage. Because again, that's one of the many negative connotations that comes with REIA. It's a pitch fest every single month. Even our local one here in Birmingham that exists, it still exists, but we've almost put them out of business. No one goes to it anymore because it's a pitch fest. And people are so sick of that. And I wrote a book about this called Nothing's for Sale. And I named it that because nothing is for you. Come and we're not pitching you on a bunch of stuff. People are sick of that. And we're trying to lead with value, which actually is the premise of the book. It actually leads to more sales down the road. So that's our philosophy.
Yeah, very good. And you had a great group. I really appreciated the invite. And at first I resisted the invitation because I couldn't sell my course there, but I went anyway because you're a friend. And I was so glad I did. The relationships that I made there, the friendships, the just hanging out with people. We've actually been doing deals with people that I met at the REIA group, deals like real estate deals. So yeah, it's really good. So you started what do you call it now anyway? If it's not a REIA, what do you call it? It's
a series of live networking events, live. So real estate investing live. It's REI Live Birmingham, REI Live Atlanta. I'm a big believer in the real estate. The real estate is two things. Real estate's local and real estate's live. And what I mean by that is let's talk about local first. Real estate's extremely local. And when I first got started, I mentioned this earlier, the missing component for me was the local coach, the person who could teach me on the street by street level and understand that Birmingham's cash flow. Birmingham is a cash flowing area, very similar to St. Louis where you are. It's a cash flowing area. That's a huge difference than like in Atlanta that's just right next door to us, or Nashville that's right next door to us. Totally different types of markets. And to understand those idiosyncrasies, I didn't have someone teaching me that, which helped me. Once I learned that on my own, I became a better wholesaler because I actually understood who to hold, what types of properties were best to wholesale here in Birmingham, what properties are best to wholesale lease options, all sorts of different things. So real estate's local. It's not just Birmingham to Nashville, Birmingham to Atlanta, Birmingham, St. Louis. It's actually Birmingham to Birmingham, St. Louis to St. Louis. Let's talk about any market that you're in. you know that there are different pockets that are doing different things. Even little towns or municipalities that are around your city, even in those, it can be street to street, and there could be a $500,000 house on one block and a $30,000 house 2 blocks down. That's very common in Birmingham. So to understand that the real estate is local, it will always be local. And then the second component, it's live. Real estate's live. You can do the virtual stuff. I know, Joe, you love the virtual stuff, but nothing takes the place of a live event. Period. End of discussion. You can network all you want on social media. You can meet people in group chats and all these things, but nothing takes the place of that live event. And that's what we've become, event specialists, put on great live events in different cities all throughout the country to help facilitate network. I'm of the belief that most people don't even know how to network. They don't understand what networking truly is. And we've just tried to provide an atmosphere and a community and a culture where people want to come and do deals, not come. And then we're going to learn real estate, but not come and get pitched. We're going to come and do deals. And that's what our focus has been on.
You know, there's a group in Nashville, I think it is, called Deals, Deals, Deals. That's the name of the group. And I've always loved that. So if you ever want to change your name again, you might want to change it to REI Live Deals, Deals, Deals.
Jump in though. I would suggest there are a lot of deals groups that say we're just all about deals. And the problem with those groups is they're all about deals. There's no edge. It's really not a place for the brand new person to come and actually grow and learn. So we try to be both, the best of both worlds. We want the new person to come. I think what's really set us apart is we do have the brand new investor coming. We do have the guy or gal that's just getting going. And then we also have the seasoned people. They want to come and get involved. You don't see that at REIAs. You don't see the seasoned investors that have been doing it for a long time that want to actually help and mentor other people just because they want to give back. We have that going on in our groups. Nice. Really nice.
So why do the REIA though? I mean, like, what's in it for you? You're not allowed to sell anything. Why do it? Why? It's a lot of work. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. Why do it?
I'm going to come back to my book. Okay. I'm going to come back to this book I wrote called Nothing's for Sale. And by the way, if you want to copy this, Joe, can I give away a free copy of this book? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to run people through a free plus shipping model. You can get it for 100% free. I'll cover the shipping. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram. That's all you have to do. And I'll pay for the shipping. Again, nothing's for sale. Follow me on Instagram.
You're embarrassing me.
Brian, the letter J, Trippe, at Brian J. Trippe on Instagram. Follow me, shoot me a DM, and I will send this to you. Put your name, put your physical address in there. I'll send it to you. You don't even have to pay shipping. So here's the key.
So wait. I'm typing this in the comment. It's at BJ Trippe.
At Brian, Brian, the letter J, and then Trippe, Trippe. Okay, at Brian J. Trippe on Instagram. DM me with your name and physical address, and I will send this to you. We send books out every Wednesday. So this is live on Facebook on a Thursday. It'll be next Wednesday when we send them out. But here's the answer to question, Joe. That's a great question, and I love that. That question fires me up. If I can't sell, then why do it? What's in it for me? This is what people don't understand. And this is how sales has completely shifted. Sales has completely shifted over the past really just 5, 7, 10 years. It's a complete shift from send everybody to the back of the room to value-based sales. Like, how can I provide so much value to you that you're going to want to do business with me? I give you so much for free. I'm giving you a free book. You don't even have to pay shipping. I don't know what's going to happen. We may never do business ever, but it's the law of reciprocity. Okay. And which is one of the absolute keys to networking. The law of reciprocity means if I do something for you, you're going to feel the need to want to do something back in return for me. Not everybody feels that need, but most people do. Just like if I hold the door open for somebody, you know, those restaurants where there are like 2 doors, there's a door and you're in a vestibule and there's another door. I hold the door open for them and then they hold the door open for me. They feel the need to do that. Like, oh, I don't, Adam Grant in his book, Give and Take, calls that I'm a matcher. and like 80% of the population is a matcher. They're going to match you. Whatever you do for them, you're going to do that for them. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. So that's the key. That's the key to sales today, is to give. And you, Joe, you experienced that when you came to our REIA. And from my understanding, you did pretty well in sales without selling. Yeah. And now you're doing deals in Birmingham, and you didn't even sell from stage.
Yeah.
You actually experienced that philosophy.
Yeah, it was good. Really good. So I want everybody who's listening to this to send Brian an Instagram DM at Brian J. Trippe, Trippe. And if we can get like 1,000 people to get his book.
I think I only have like, I don't know if I have that many copies left, but you know, so while supplies, make sure you put while supplies last. I do this.
Right, so I'm assuming it's also helped you do deals. Like, talk about some of the deals and relationships that's helped you in your business as well.
So yeah, so the subtitle to this book is how to become the local real estate authority by giving everything away. So how do you, so it comes back to authority. So I'm the guy at the front of the room. I have a podcast. I'm the guy with the microphone, just like you. You've experienced the same level of authority. You're an authority figure, automatic authority. And that's what Robert Cialdini talks about, that psychology, that persuasion, that psychology of sales. You're the guy at the front of the room. You have instant authority, people, instant credibility. People want to do deals with the person that's at the front of the room, the person with the microphone. And like a lot of transactions that happen in the REIA come through me.
Yeah.
They come through me because, you know, Brian, I got this deal and I can't sell it. Or Brian, I got 2 or 3 buyers and we can't find them deals. And I'm the one that gets all these messages and emails. And yes, you're right. I have not done a single deal by myself in about 1.5 years. Like, we've partnered with our coaching students, our coaching partners, and we've partnered with other people in the REIA to do deals. And it's just a phenomenal just philosophy that just I fell into by accident. And it all came from just wanting to give things away, and just stuff started landing in my lap.
Now you'll still do coaching, one-on-one, and some group coaching as well, right? But you give away a ton of value, but sometimes people still want to work closely with you and want some more of your time. So how do you structure that, or where do you set the boundaries or the limits of like how much you actually do give away everything for free? Like, you know, because your knowledge and your connections are definitely worth something, right?
It's a great question, Joe. And here's my philosophy. Information is like, we live in a different age today than we did 5 and 10 years ago. Information is like when I was listening to your podcast in 2012, wholesaling information, it was nowhere near as easy to get your hands on for free. Yeah, there were podcasts like yours, maybe Sean Terry's. There were some YouTube videos out there. Really not a ton of information out there. You could learn some stuff, but maybe not everything. Today, all the information's out there, Joe. All of it's out there. Even your course, I know to your dismay, it's all out there. Even you wrote a book that you give away for free, and all the information's in there. Why would people still buy coaching? If you give all the information away, why do they still buy coaching? They buy coaching for 2 reasons. And you mentioned one of them. One of them is network. Access to your network. If I have a network, your network is crazy. My network is crazy because that's all I've done. I've spent my entire real estate career developing my network. If people need money to do deals, I've got the money. I've got people in my network that can fund their deals, right? I have all the connections. So that's number one, like access. Like, they want my coaching because they're going to get access to me, my buyers, my network, everything. And then 2 is speed. How fast do you want to be successful? You have all the information. I give it all away, Joe. Like, we do these little boot camps, or like a couple $100 to attend, 3 full days. They're not sales pitches. They're literally like just information. I give it all to you. You have all the information at your disposal, and people can run with that, and they have run with it, and they've done very, very well. And I'm happy for them. It's awesome. But then there's some people that need the hand holding. Or they may not need the super hand holding, but they just want to do it faster. And we can help them with the results quicker.
Yeah. So you do still sell coaching, right? But it's It's after you've delivered a ton of value. And if somebody wants the networking, if somebody wants the hand holding, if somebody wants access to your Rolodex, you do charge a fee for that.
Correct.
Okay, good. That's important, because there's a lot of people, and anybody listening to this, before you start going out there thinking, I'm just going to do coaching for free. That's very difficult.
You can't do that.
You can't. That's not sustainable. Number one, you're going to get burnt out really, really quickly. And maybe explain why people would get burnt out if all they did was free coaching.
And that may be true. I don't really, that's not really the reason I would think you can't coach for free, because people don't value free. And so I'll give you a perfect example. We do, for our current coaching students, we do once per quarter, we get together, we do group coaching all the time, but we get together for a full day. And I bring in a couple of my high level friends, and we get around. There's usually about 15 or 20 of us in a room, and it's not really a mastermind, but kind of like that mastermind feel, but it's really more formal group coaching where we really coach them up and answer specific questions. It's a full day. It's free for my coaching students to attend that once per quarter. Since it's free, they don't value it. And so half of them don't even show up. I'm getting the best people in our town together for a one-on-one. Like, usually group coaching is just me and them, but once a quarter, I'll get like 2 or 3 major players in our city and me, and we can all get in a room together. Half of them don't show up, and they don't show up because it's free. They don't value free. So you can't give away your coaching, your individual one-on-one time for free, because people just will not value it. Even the book I send you, I just know this. It's just factual. 9 out of 10, if not even more, 9 out of 10 won't read the book. You just won't.
I did read it. I'm one of the 10. I had to read it because you asked me to write a stupid foreword to it.
No, you didn't write the foreword. You read a little. You gave me a little testimonial here in the back.
I didn't mean stupid.
Yeah, you did. It's okay.
It was a good book. Okay, so why are you now doing this in other cities? What's the whole point?
The point is to take over national REIA. I mean, just being honest. I just don't. And this isn't all of them, by the way. This isn't all of the people who are affiliated with national REIA, but it's the majority, because I've seen it with my own eyes, and I know a lot of the operators. I believe that real estate investing, to be successful, you need to be in a community. You can do it alone, but you're going to get burned out. You really and truly need to be in a community of other people who are doing the deals and who can help you get to the next level. I'm so passionate about that. It's what I lacked when I got started. And when I coach even today, like, I understand they need community. So we're building community for them. Most, not all, most traditional REIAs are not community. Like, I go back and think about the REIA I started going to when I first got started. It's more like a landlord association, really. It's more like just old people standing in the back of the room reminiscing about the good old days. And then all the new people in the room are sitting in the chairs in the front with a speaker up there pitching a product that most in the room don't need. And, hey, we only got, for the first 5 that go back there, they're going to get this bonus gift. And we only have 5 of these bonus gifts. Oh, and when the 5 run out, guess what? They got 5 more. It's just stuff like that. Like, I feel like that old school way of doing things has run its course. People are sick of it. And here's the real key. When you start, and I don't know if you've seen this, Joe, this is an interesting thing that I've noticed just in the past 2 years. You've been doing this a lot longer than me. From a coaching standpoint, I've noticed my coaching student avatar today it's now a millennial. My coaching student avatar used to be the 50, 55-year-old who's facing retirement, doesn't have retirement, and they see the writing on the wall, and they feel like they need to do something. Now I feel like there's been an enormous shift, and it's the 23, 24 to 35-year-old who is now my primary coaching student. And if you look at the psychology of a millennial, and I'm making some generalizations here, but most millennials, the number one thing they crave is community. And that's why Airbnb has done what it's done. Uber's done what it's done. Community has been such a huge key for these people. I'm trying to really develop that from a real estate club standpoint is build real, true community.
That's good. Good. So you want to take over the world with your real estate clubs. But then, it's not cheap to do this, right? You're doing this in multiple cities. It costs money to get the room, to get the crowd there and whatever, the sound systems and all that. How do you recover your costs from that?
So I own the brand. It's all I own. And the only thing I own, as far as a REIA goes, I'm using REIA for lack of a better word. The only thing I own from a real estate club standpoint is the brand itself and the Birmingham location. Like the Atlanta location, we have an operator who 100% owns it.
Okay, I thought maybe you were running all of them or something.
I don't run them all. I really act as more of a consultant. I help people start. If say you're an influencer in your town and you want to maybe get more deals, maybe you want to become a coach, we help people start coaching programs, local coaching programs, not national coaching programs. That I think they have their place, but I'm not a huge fan of the national programs unless you really and truly are like you're doing, Joe. You're actually coming into Birmingham. You have like boots on the ground people and really helping them. Like there's kind of a place for that, but most of the national programs, like a Fortune Builders, a Rich Dad, again, I think that they're fine, but they lack that component. So we're helping these operators in these cities. Like, I mean, we got a guy right now in Columbia, South Carolina, who's knocking it out of the park, who's a big influencer, and he's starting his own coaching program. People love him. He's very affable. He's a great guy. Andrew Lucas, and send out a huge shout out to him. But
Andrew,
so we've got great operators, people like in Atlanta, operators that Peter Vexelman and Julie Hicks, that are really doing great things. That they already have a coaching program. They don't need a coaching program, but there's Julie right there. They don't have a coaching program. They already have a coaching program. They want more to what they're already doing, and they want to be the focus of that community. Because again, when you're in the front of the room, you command authority. So I act more as the consultant. They almost hired me as a consultant to go and then help them build out what it looks like to start a successful meetup group. We kind of call it, it's REI Live as the brand, but I'm starting to build out another, almost program. It may become a program. I may give it away for free. I don't know. But like Millionaire Meetup, how can you make $1 million with your meetup in the next year? I've done that. Can I help other people do that too? So we're popping up these little things with operators in cities all throughout the country.
I like it.
But the operator has to be influential. You can't be brand new at this. You have to already have been doing a lot of deals, be a great coach already, or want to be a great coach, have a coach's heart, servant's heart. And then we help you get your coaching program off the ground, and we help you get the meetup component off the ground as well. Nice.
Good. Very good. So if somebody wants to do this, can they do it on their own? Do you recommend that they reach out to you? Like, what are some resources that people can go to if they want to start something like this in their own city?
Yeah, I think, and again, in the spirit of just giving things away, I think that anybody could actually go and do this on their own. There are some, I would pinpoint maybe 2 or 3 specific things that you would need to be cautious of as you get started. And we just come in and act as that consultant, and just help steer you. Like how do you negotiate a contract with a hotel for an entire year to get a great deal? Things like that. Where to book the space? How much space should you book? Just little simple things like that. Should it be in a hotel? Should you have it in a bar? Should you have it? We've kind of tested all these things to where we know specifically, guess what? Yeah, you do need to have it in a hotel. You don't need to have it in a bar. Anyone can do a meetup. And here's the order of events. You need to have a very specific order of events. The speaker is key. You've got to have a dynamic keynote speaker, and you have to have the relationships with these speakers to where you could bring in a guy like Joe McCall and he won't sell at your event. So you can draw a lot of people there to come to your events. Like Tom Kroll is coming in June to Atlanta, to the Atlanta one. So we're bringing in these big names that are going to be huge draws to bring people into the room, which benefits us. And we're going to give them the speaker the ability to lead capture so they can make money too. So there's all these different components. Anyone can start a meetup group, but there's all these specific components that's why you might use somebody like me to help you actually get that off the ground. And if you want to use the REI Live brand, we talk about that too. But really, I'm more, Joe, you asked, where they can go for more resources. I'm more just I provide value. If somebody wants to jump on a call with me and they're serious about it, I don't mind kind of helping them out. But if they really want to take it to the next level, definitely contact me.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in Atlanta April 18th, right?
April 18th, Joe McCall speaking at REI Live Atlanta. Fired up about that.
Nice. And you had your first meeting just a few weeks ago, right? In Atlanta.
Correct.
How many people did you have there?
We had 85 at the launch.
Awesome.
And
that's really good for a first time.
Yeah, we had 85 at the launch, and I didn't know this. There's like 10 or 15 meetups in Atlanta, maybe even more. And I didn't know this at the time, but there's like a really big one that's going on the same night as the one we had ours. But hey, collaboration over competition. That same person actually reached out to me, and we're gonna try to work together.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Good. So I'm gonna be in Atlanta, April 18th. Where can people go to get more information about the Atlanta REIA or the Alabama REIA or some of the other ones?
Yeah, right now. So we're building out the website. The website's can be reilive.tv, reilive.tv. The premise is to actually, broadcast our keynote speakers. We'll be broadcasting. We might broadcast you, but we usually broadcast from Birmingham. But April in Birmingham, we have a great guest speaker in April coming to Birmingham, so we may use yours to do like tape delay or something like that. But that's where the live component comes in. reilive.tv. Cool. You can go to that website. My contact, we're still building it out, so it doesn't look anywhere near like it's going to. But just contact me. Find me on Facebook. I know Joe's going to tag me in this. Just find me on Facebook. Find me on Instagram. Just reach out to me for right now. We have different pages. You can go to facebook.com/reilive.tv. So facebook.com/reilive.tv. It's the main Facebook page. But then every affiliate's going to have their own page as well.
So you can actually do a dot. So it's facebook.com/reilive.tv.
Yeah, the dot is, so if you know anything about, like people who put dots like in their email addresses and things like that, the dot is actually meaningless. Oh. You can do it with or without the dot.
Okay, so your website that will be up soon is reilive.tv. The Facebook page is facebook.com/reilive.tv.
Correct.
That is cool. And your Instagram handle, Brian J. Trippe, Trippe.
Correct.
If people want to get your book. And cool. Any other words of advice, Brian, you want to give to people that, they're maybe interested in this? They just kind of, I don't know why or what's the next step?
I think I would want to talk versus maybe I think your audience is going to be more the person who might show up at one of these events, not necessarily wants to start one.
No, you'll be surprised. A lot
of it could be both. I want to try to really provide value. I would say this: if you're not going to your REIA, maybe because because you didn't know about it and you need to look it up, and you should go to your local REIA. I don't care if you love it or hate it, you should go. If you're not going to your local REIA, you need to go, period. And I don't care if it's the greatest thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. And here's why. You can't do this business alone. You have to meet people. The single most important thing in real estate, and it's not even close. Like number one is here, and number two is like on the ground. Like number one is networking. You have got to meet the right people. And most people don't know how to network, in my opinion, because I've seen it. You have to really if you're going to network with someone, you have to go into it with intentionality, and you have to lead with giving. You have to lead with what can I do for you? And that's the true essence of networking and building relationships. You know, Joe, I've recently come to this conclusion. If you want to know what the secret sauce to real estate is, everyone says they have the secret sauce. You don't know what the actual secret sauce to real estate is? I'm going to give this. This is a huge epiphany for me. Steve, I want to get your take on this. Maybe you agree with me. Maybe you don't.
I'll tell you.
the secret sauce, when everybody's, oh, you know, I've got a competitive advantage in this and this and this. I think real estate is so copyable. Everyone copies everybody for the most part. The real distinct advantage in real estate is the fact that you've been good and generous to so many people along the way that they want to actually help you. That REO agent that you are great to now wants to bring you the deals and not anyone else. That the person that has the list that they could give it to anybody, but they want to give it to you because you've been so generous and so great. So you've got that competitive advantage. You're getting these deals that no one else is getting because you've been so generous and you've led with value to so many people. You've developed that reputation, that integrity that people just want to do. They would rather do business with you and make less than with anyone else.
That's good. How can you disagree with that?
That's the secret sauce, man.
Very good. Hey, thanks for being on the show. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
I'm supposed to be a Mizzou fan. I live in St. Louis, right? But I was raised in San Diego, went to college in Iowa, and
Cyclones.
Traveled all over the world. I don't have a real favorite college, but anybody out there, if you want to send me your favorite college sweatshirt, I'll wear it and talk about it on a podcast, and I'll pretend to be a fan. How about that?
That's a great way to get to increase your wardrobe there, Joe.
Well, I need more hoodies. Everybody needs more hoodies. I got so many of them right now. But hey, man, I appreciate it, Brian. You guys, you should read his book. It's called Nothing is for Sale. And can you get it on Amazon?
You can get it on Amazon. It's $8 on Amazon.
All right. Or you can send him a direct message in Instagram. So it's at Brian J. Trippe, Trippe. It's all in the comments down below. And all of these also, by the way, will be in the show notes at the Real Estate Investing Mastery podcast website at realestateinvestingmastery.com. realestateinvestingmastery.com. Listen, guys, I want to tell you before we go here real quick, if you like this podcast, please leave a review in iTunes. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher. I don't know if Google Play lets you do reviews. I don't think they do. Wherever you listen to podcasts, if you can leave a review, would really, really appreciate it. Let us know what you like about the show. Let us know what you don't like about the show. Let us know your thoughts. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube right now, please leave some comments down below and just say hi. I'd love to talk to you and see how it's going. All of the links we talked about are in the comments down below for Brian. You can also go to realestateinvestingmastery.com to get the notes as well. It's been a good interview, Brian. I appreciate it, man.
Guys, Joe is the absolute real deal, Holyfield, no doubt about it. You need to definitely do everything that if you're in Atlanta, you need to get to him, get to that event, get his book. Is it the wholesaling lease option book is still out there, Joe? Get that book. I asked you to send me a signed copy, and I got the regular copy, so I'm gonna bring it to Atlanta to get it signed. Get the book, guys. Joe is the real deal. Joe, I can't thank you enough for everything you do for not just me, but for the entire real estate investing community. Love you, man.
Thanks, Brian. If you guys want my book, it's free, but you got to pay shipping and handling. So Brian's trying to embarrass me, but I'm not going to let it happen. If you want my book, it's absolutely free, except you got to pay like $6 or $7 for shipping and handling. And I don't make any money just from the sale of this book. It is such a good book. Wholesaling Lease Options. Check it out. WLObook.com. Hey, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man. We'll see you guys.